Hi, I'm Kristen, and thank you for joining me for this practice today, taking some time for yourself. Such a beautiful thing. We're going to start our practice today, but before we begin, please make sure that you have a block, if you have that available to you, and a strap. These are just options that we can use. If you don't have either one of these available, you can use a pillow or maybe a rolled up blanket. For the strap, you can also use like a belt or a scarf. So you have options there. So just have those handy. So we're going to get started. We're going to start on our backs in what we call an active rest. So coming down onto the back, we're going to take the feet as wide as the mat and allow the knees to fall inward. Hands come at the sides, palms facing up. Gaze can softly go up towards the sky or the ceiling, or maybe if it's available and comfortable for you, you can close the eyes and just fully allow yourself to surrender in this moment. Adjust the back so that the back is fully supported with the ground beneath you. And just begin to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Not controlling the breath or forcing it, but just simply let it flow as it naturally does. Noticing the rise and the fall of the belly. Each inhale and exhale. Maybe you place both hands on the belly, allowing yourself to fully connect with that breath. Acknowledge here what has shown up with you on the mat today. Maybe it's a sensation in the body or an emotion that you're feeling. Without any judgments, just simply acknowledge it. And come back to the breath. On your next inhale, take a big, deep inhale through the nose. Inside out the mouth. One more time, inhale through the nose. And exhale out of the mouth. Letting go of what no longer serves you in this moment. From here, we're going to pull the knees into the chest. Slowly rocking side to side. Giving ourselves a nice little back massage. Maybe doing some circles with the knees one way and then the other. And coming back to center and rocking one more time. From here, finding some stillness, and we're going to send the feet up towards the sky, using the hands behind the thighs, behind the knees. And flex the feet, and then point. Flex, and point. Feeling a nice stretch in the calf muscle. Shin. Coming to a neutral position with the feet. Taking those hands again behind the thighs and just pulling the legs towards your face. Only going as far as what's comfortable for you. Keeping your back, small of your back on the mat. And then releasing the feet, soles of the feet back down to the mat. I'm going to provide you some options here. We're going to do a side twist. So to deepen the stretch, you can take that right knee over the left. If that's too much for you, just keep the knees stacked. All right, so options. So if you want to deepen the stretch, take that right knee over the left knee and then allow the right knee to fall towards the left. Hands come out to the side in a T, or maybe you bend the elbows for cactus arms. And again, if this is too much for your low back, you can just stack the knees. So find what feels good for you in your practice. Listening to your body. Yoga is all about finding the balance between effort and ease, control and surrender. And coming back to center, taking that right sole of the foot back down to the mat, readjusting yourself, recentering. Take that left knee over the right, if that's in your practice, and allow that left knee to fall down towards the right. Gaze can always go up towards the ceiling, or if you want to deepen the stretch, again, you can take your gaze over towards the left. If you're sensing any tightness, simply breathe into that space. Use that breath. There should not be any pain, but maybe just some tightness. Your breath is a beautiful way to open the body, but also a way to anchor yourself in the moment. And coming back to center, left sole of the foot comes back down to the mat. Recenter yourself. Pull those knees back into the chest. Maybe rock one more time. You can all use a little back massage now and again. And then find your way back up to a seated position. So maybe that's rocking your way up, or maybe you lean to one side and find your way back up. I'm going to stay facing this way. We're going to take the legs out nice and long. We're going to pull that flesh out from underneath the bum so you can feel the sit bones really rooting down into the ground. I'm going to adjust the hair because it gets to be a hot mess sometimes. We're going to inhale, feet are flexed, hands come at the side, so placing them right at the hips. Spine is long and lifted, shoulders are back and down, gaze is forward. Maybe you have some tight hamstrings, so maybe you keep a slight bend in the knees. Pull that belly button in towards the spine. Inhale, we're going to reach up towards the sky. Exhale, we're going to fold forward. So hinging at those hips as we fold forward, only going as far as you can go. Remember, this is your practice. So maybe your hands just come to the mat on either side of the knees. Maybe you grab the calf muscles, or maybe you grab at the toes. You should feel a nice stretch up the back, also up the back of the legs. Nice neutral neck. And breathing. And then slowly walk the hands back up. We're going to come onto our bellies. So making our way onto the stomach. We're going to take the fingers just right outside the mat, about in line with the shoulders. It's a nice even line from one hand to the next, pressing those feet into the mat, engaging those legs, coming onto the fingertips of both hands. Gaze is soft in front of you. Inhale, we're going to lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Only going as far as what feels good to you. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. If you have low back tension, don't go as high. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Beautiful. Bringing those elbows underneath the shoulders this time. Again, fingertips are nice and wide. If this is too much of a back bend for you, take those elbows and walk them out just a little bit in front of you. That'll soften the back bend. So find the version that works for you, listening to the body. Gaze is just in front of you. Neck is nice and long. Pressing into the tops of the feet. A nice stretch for the lower back, mid-back. Taking a few more breaths here. And then coming all the way down onto the chest. Hands come out nice and long in front. Feet are long behind you. We're going to lift the right arm up. And then we're going to lift the left leg. And release it back down. Inhale, right arm and left leg. And release. One last time, inhale. And exhale. Doing the same thing on the opposite side. Lift that left arm and that right leg. And release. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. exhale. This time we're going to lift both the legs and the arms at the same time. You have options here, as always. You can keep the arms out nice and long. You can bend at the elbows and bring them out to the side. So find what works for you. We're going to inhale, lift both arms and both legs. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Bringing those hands in front of the face, bending at the elbows. We're going to bend the knees. Soles of the feet come towards the head. And just windshield wiper the legs back and forth. So one side to the other. Helping to release the back. You may want to lower the forehead onto the hands. Take a little time out here. And then lowering the feet down to the ground. Bringing the hands on either side of the chest. And we're going to push back into a child's pose. So take those knees nice and wide as the mat. Bring those big toes together. Sit back towards the heels and reach those arms out nice and long. Forehead comes down towards the mat. If it doesn't make it, that's perfectly okay. You can use a blanket or a pillow or a block to bring the ground to you. And then slowly coming back up. We're going to find our way on to a seated position, but eventually onto our backs. So you will need your block handy. So from here, we're going to go into bridge pose. We're going to do 2 without a block, and then we're going to do 1 supported, so with the block. So bringing those heels as close as you can to your body, placing the hands palms down onto the mat. We're going to press into the heels, so lift those toes up so you're pressing into the heels, and lift the pelvis up towards the sky, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the legs together, and release it all back down. 1 vertebrae at a time. One more time. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, release. This time we're going to use that block. Inhale, we lift. Placing that block low or medium underneath the pelvis. Right at that sacrum, that pelvis area. And just allow your body to come down and surrender onto that block. Pressing into those heels, lifting the pelvis up towards the sky. Release that block and come down slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time. And when you get there, all the way back down, take those feet as wide as the mat. We're going to do windshield wiper this way. So again, legs go to one side and then the other. Beautiful. using that strap or a belt or a scarf. We're going to take that left leg out nice and long. Right leg is going to go up towards the sky, wrapping the strap or whatever prop you have around the ball of that foot, keeping a slight bend in the knee. Pull those toes toward your face. Again, being mindful of your body. We are all different, and that is beautiful. Release the foot back to center, taking that strap in the right hand, placing the left hand on the hip to anchor yourself down because you want the hips to stay on the ground, and allow that right leg to come out towards the side, that right side. Feeling a nice stretch in the inside of that right leg, that hip area. And then bring it back to center. Grabbing the strap with the left hand, right hand comes down to the mat or to the ground, and allow that right foot to come over to the left. The right hip can lift up off the mat. Feeling a nice stretch in that IT band, hamstring. And bring it all back to center. Releasing the strap from that right leg. Sending that right leg out straight. Left leg goes up towards the ceiling. Little bend in that knee. And pull that foot towards the face. Release that foot back to center, grabbing the strap with the left hand, anchoring yourself, your hip with the right hand. Open up that left leg to the left side. Keeping both of the hips on the floor. And paying attention to how each side is different. Without judgments. Just recognizing your body. Bring that left foot back to center, grabbing the strap with the right hand. Left hand comes down to the mat or to the floor, and allow that left foot to come over to the right. And bring that left foot back to center, release the strap. And this time, hugging both of the knees into the chest. Maybe rocking back and forth again. And keeping that right knee into the chest, take that left leg out nice and long. And then with that left hand, we're going to guide the right knee over to the left, finding a nice twist here. That right hand can come fully out nice and long to the right, or once again bending at the elbow if that feels better. Coming back to center, hugging that right knee in towards that armpit, and release it out nice and long. Hugging that left knee in, that right hand guide the left knee over towards the right, and allow that left hand to come out to the side. Coming back to center, hug that left knee towards the armpit. And release the left leg out nice and long. Coming into our final Shavasana. Take the heels out to the sides at the bottom of the mat. Hands come at the sides, palms facing up, relaxing those shoulders back and down. Closing the eyes. And just take a moment here to settle in. Allowing the back body to be heavy. Noticing how the body feels now that you have flowed through your practice. And you're welcome to stay in Shavasana for as long as you need. For those who wish to end their practice today, place your left hand on your heart, your right hand on your belly. Take a moment here, find gratitude for yourself. Gratitude for all that your body is capable of doing. And gratitude for the time you have taken for yourself in this day. Again, you can stay in Shavasana as long as you need. For those who wish to end their practice today, find your way up into a seated position. Sitting up nice and tall. Shoulders are back and down. Hands come to heart center. Placing those thumbs at the sternum so you can feel your heartbeat. Thank you for joining me in this practice today. May your world be filled with peace. May you be filled with love. And may you have good health. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.